Mentioned this the other day. You know, this is a prideful team. Still has plenty of weapons on this team. Good coaching. So we know we got our hands full Monday night out there. But it's something we're looking forward to. So hope everybody had a good Christmas. Questions?
Start off, Teddy Bridgewater news. You guys are for the game, just thought the process with that, I guess, and how long it's been in order.
I've been in contact with Teddy for a while, and it was something that was always potentially a possibility. And we all know what Teddy's been doing down there and giving back to his community. And they won a championship down there, so his debut as coaching worked out pretty dang good. But just, you know, to be able to add somebody back here that's got experience, he's staying in shape, he's been throwing, you know, just get him worked back in here a little bit. It just brings a level of professionalism, you know, veteran presence, somebody that's great for our team, he's great for the position. Doesn't mean we're disappointed in Hooker. That's not what this means. It just means this gives this guy somebody that's played a lot in the NFL. We're getting ready for the playoffs, and so it'll be good to get him
playoffs
with us. Yeah, and look, he's improved. He really has. We feel like every week he's gotten a little bit better, and this does not mean that that Hooker is out. That's not what this means. If it comes to that, Hooker's going to play for us, but Teddy probably will too. So, you know, I understand what it looks like, but it's just a different world that we're getting ready to walk into. And we felt like this is the right thing to do, especially with somebody that I have a tremendous amount of trust with and for. He understands our offense well. The guys know him well. The coaches know him well. And he brings a certain level of comfort to us.
Worst case scenario, too, just given what we've seen in the playoffs in the past with multiple quarterbacks, but now we know we got the emergency option in here now. Does this kind of give you a little bit more security in the season?
Absolutely it does. Now you don't have to be concerned with that, and depending on who's inactive, you don't have to. You can get the guy to the game that you want, and if something happens, you've got your third ready to roll.
So many guys have talked about how Teddy has impacted them just by being in the building. How much of a bonus is that that he can have that kind of mentorship aspect on some of the younger players?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's great for our team. I mean, you know, I think everybody in that locker room respects Teddy and what he stands for and the type of human being he is, but also the type of player. I mean, whenever he gets his sea legs back under him, he's going to, you know, he'll test those guys a little bit defensively, which is good in practice, you know. And I just feel like, you know, when you get guys that you feel like make everybody around them a little bit better, it's hard not to have those guys around or at them if you can.
Teddy, we're really close. Every time we talk to each other,
Is this something you kind of had to keep Hendon in the loop in, or just tell him as it comes?
No, tell him as it comes. And he'll be just fine. He's a pro. Hooker's a pro. He's been working, this isn't like we brought in a rookie free agent who's going to just jump him right now. This guy's got skins on the wall, and he's somebody that Hooker learned under as well as golf, and this will be fun.
Still trending toward Reese Maven possibly getting back this week. Is there anybody else that could possibly join that list?
It's too early to say. We're going to start Khalif's clock. I guess you guys saw that. So he'll start practicing, and we'll see where he's at. I don't feel as confident with him as I do Germ, but it's good to have him back out practicing. It will be good to get him back out there running around.
You like that?
This team evolved from last year's championship loss to them, and do you just see this as an opportunity somewhat to get closure to that a little bit?
Well, I think we're really more mature, I guess it would probably be the best way to say that. We've, I mentioned every year you kind of learn something about winning and losing, and when you take an L like we did, last year, you learn from that, There was a number of things we did wrong and a number of things they did right, and I think you understand how the game can go and where it can swing, and just about keeping your composure and making the most of any rep that comes, because the one that happened in the second quarter could change the game. So I think we're much more prepared than we were potentially even that time. You feel like you are, but until you get into that with a heavyweight real champion who'd been there numerous times, you don't always know. And so I think that experience, as difficult as it was, served us well moving forward into this year. And it's like anything else. You just, you don't like to lose, and so you got an opportunity with a team that got the best of you, and so you just want to go out and find a way to get a win.
They're still top 10 in yards, and
Yeah.
top 3 in yards allowed. Does that show, I guess, how close, I guess, a tipping point it is maybe for a team like that maybe the record isn't reflective of their potency?
Yeah, I mean, this team is, we talked to the team earlier. I mean, they, for the most part, they've got their whole defense out there. And, certainly with Bosa on one edge and you got 54 right there in the middle, I mean, these guys are as good players you're going to find in this league at those positions. Not to mention the others. I mean, they've got corners, they got the nickel, they got 2 safeties, they got plenty up front. So this is a potent defense, and they've always played good defense, and that hasn't changed. They're like anybody else. They've dealt with a number of injuries at tough times in a season, and those are on offense and defense. And it's been tough to overcome those, but now you're seeing, they're getting some of these guys back, and they have some offensive linemen out, but they still got Kittle, they got Debo, they got Purdy, they got, 15's playing good out there. I think the back will be back. So they've got plenty, and with the scheme they run, the coaching, I mean, they're gonna. This is not going to be an easy task whatsoever. So our guys understand that. We're going to have to play our best ball to go out there and get a win.
At running back, they've gone through 4, 5, 6 different starters there. They're still like top 10 in rushing. What is it about Shanahan's scheme, the way they execute that, like so dangerous no matter what is playing back there?
I think they do as good as anybody in the league, if not the best at, they know what they have, but then they find your weaknesses and they exploit them in numerous ways, particularly in the run game, but then the play pass off of that. And so it's just, they kind of have a core that they run, core scheme, but then inside of those, they're able to adjust. A lot of them on the run with what they're able to do with some of the motions, It helps when one of your best weapons is one of your best blockers in Kittle. That makes things a lot different, too, on the perimeter. In 44, they still use him that way, in that regard. And then the fact that Debo he's a receiver 1 minute, now he's your running back the next, and he's a legit runner. they just, they create some matchups that make it hard on you defensively.
What idea was your wife or your kids?
Well, that would be my wife every year. She's got an idea. We always wear Christmas shirts that are a little unique, so that was definitely her.
Dan, you're coming up on your 4-year anniversary, introduced as Lions head coach. When you think back to your introductory press conference, what did those 45 minutes mean to what your tenure was going to be?
What did it mean to me?
Personally, but also to the franchise.
Well, I mean, I think anytime you come in, that's your first chance to, I guess, give everybody your, what I guess your vision of how you see things and where you see yourself being when it's all said and done, and what you want it to look like from the people that don't know you in the organization, but more importantly, the team, the players that are out there that you haven't had a chance to talk to. And so that's exactly what I was talking to the fans, to give them an idea of a little bit of who you are and where you see this going and your vision. And so I felt like I did that for me. I mean, that was the whole point of it, and I did it, and it was weird because it was COVID, and you're just looking on these screens. But yeah, I did that. No. All right.
That's Coach Dan Campbell right there. This is the Lion Villain Report. I'm your host, Russell Wayne. Let's get
Hey yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose, move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lion Villain Report. I am your host, Russell Wayne. Welcome one, welcome all. We are broadcasting live right now into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page with over 61,000. Thank you to the Villain Squad Facebook page for allowing us to broadcast onto their platform. So go acknowledge the villain by hitting that subscribe button or hitting that follow button.
Acknowledge me.
That's right.
Acknowledge.
And you can go over to the YouTube channel. You can hit that subscribe button right now. And this is Lions content. This is the Lion Villain Report. That's right. We are the undrafted free agent of sports podcasting. You can hit that, you can help us out simply by engaging right there. We are the Tom Kennedy of sports podcasting. Today, we're going to get into that revenge game preview, right? We usually do this on Hump Day Wednesday, but it was Christmas. Merry Christmas to one. Merry Christmas to all. On this Villain Report Friday, TGIF. It's faith, family, and then football in that order. We use football. We don't let football use us. We use football to create those memories. We got a lot of rival fans in here. We use football. We don't let football use us. Right there. We're brought to you by NFL Shop right there. You can hit that link. Hit that QR code. And you can save up to 25% off from our affiliate marketing partners at NFL Shop. And if you too want to harness the power of the villain, you want to be guilty by association, if you own a business in the state of Michigan and you're a Lion fan and you want to be guilty by association, you want to advertise with us, get a hold of Main Event Mike 810-620-2167. We have over 100,000 people in our network, and we love that. And Main Event Mike, yeah, you can also catch him on Monday nights at 7 p.m. doing the Main Event Football Show. Thank you to Bill the Packer fan and Mike the Bear fan for giving us a platform like the Huddle Sports Network on Roku. There we go. I paid all the bills right there. Oh, hell yeah. That's right. Saying hello to everybody up in the comments. Who do we got in here today? Dwayne's in the house. Oh, Dwayne. Love you, brother.
Say hello to my little friend.
And then you got that YouTube channel. Hit that YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. We're building that one up too. Right there. Dwayne, let's go. Detroit Lions Pride, King of the North Division champion title, all grit, never back down. 13-2, make it 14-2. The Lions are already one game over my prediction. I had them at 12 wins. 12 wins. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Either 12 or 13 wins. I'm either right at it, and they got 2 games left trying to get that. Lions 34-13. Joseph in the house.
You like that?
Yeah, definitely like that. What's up, Chad?
You like that?
Mark G in the house.
You like that?
And just so you know, Mark, you never gotta apologize. Dude, I'm just happy to see you here.
You like that?
You don't ever have to apologize. You can hang out with me when you want, whenever you want. I'm here. I'm available. That's what the football show is for. We want to make football talk available. And so with that, if you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns, then make sure that you throw them in the comments, and I'll answer any of the questions the best that I can. I'll look it up. We'll talk about it. We got themes, though. We're going to talk about the San Francisco game. Might talk about some other thing. Might talk about that Green Bay versus Minnesota game. How big is that? Paul Jones in the house. John Herman in the house.
You like that? You like that?
I love it. Jay Smooth, what's up? One of my favorite Packer fans. Faith, family, and then football, right? We can have friends. I don't like your team.
Say hello to my little friend.
But I do like you, Jay Smooth. The game last night was gross. Ew.
You've had enough of that shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning. Family first, Joseph. That's what it is. We're just here to talk football. Maurice is up in the house.
You like that?
Paul had us at 14-3.
You like that?
That's nice. That's real nice. Good morning.
You like that?
I was still suffering from some of that PTSOL. Paul. A little bit of that PTSOL was creeping in. That game. You know, you want to think that you had the team that's going to show up in that big moment. And we did in a lot of ways. But, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, so starting with this game, obviously, we want to be able to talk about this injury report So, when it comes with this injury report, who do we got on the list? And I want to take a look at that. Look at that. The Thursday's practice, full participant for Graham Glasgow, full participant for Khalif Raymond, full participant for Jalen Reeves-Maybin. So, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, they started his 21-day window last week. And when you just heard Dan Campbell, he says that he feels a lot better about Jalen Reeves-Maybin than he does Khalif Raymond. But still, even Khalif Raymond, coming back, he's such a big part of this offense that people don't really realize it. And it's the little things. But Khalif Raymond is a difference maker in special teams. Jalen Reeves-Maybin is such a difference maker in special teams. It allows our good players to concentrate on different things. So I like seeing that. So, a full participant in the practice. Khalif Raymond. Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Looks like we're going to get, Glasgow. The Lions are looking strong going into the playoffs. I mean, that's crazy to say that without having a Aiden Hutchinson. They were talking about we're going to get Alex Anzalone back. Probably next week they're going to start those clocks. So, I really like where the Lions are at. And I got this comment right here by Dwayne. Both the 49ers and the Lions are playing with second string and practice squad players. You would think that levels the playing field except for the revenge factor. The Lions will be out for blood. The 49ers are playing for nothing but pride. Lions will win 34-16. I like that. I like that call. You like that? I agree with most of that. See, the Lions are playing with some practice squad players, but we have some elite players that, well, maybe I should say really good players that are leveling up into elite, Dwayne. And I mean, I'm talking like players like Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, even Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, these guys were really good last year, but just through the progression and coaching, just like Dan Campbell said, you're talking about leveling up through the season, making sure that you're playing your best football at the end of the season. So I love that comment. I like that. You like that? Mark says, only week all year I'm rooting for the Packers. I can't root for the Packers. Mark, I can't do it. I want to go through this division. The Lions are going to sweep this division. All this talk I'm really, really happy for your season, Minnesota. You know, you're doing a good job, but the Lions are the best team in this division. They're going to sweep the division. That means something. The division titles don't mean anything. Some of them do. And the Lions have a chance to make a statement this year. And I really don't even, this is like the gimme game right here. I expect the Vikings to beat the Packers. The Vikings are a better team than the Packers. They're well coached. The Minnesota Vikings, I should say. I told you at the beginning of the season. I was talking Viking fans off the ledge at the beginning of the season. Oh, the sky is falling. Make it stop. All this injury stuff. Oh, what are they going to do? We drafted J.J. McCarthy. Now it's all over. It's like, hold on a minute. Sam Darnold ain't never played with skill guys like this. I said he might be better. Now, I didn't think they were going to be 13-2 good. But I thought that they would win more games. I had them at 10-7. Yeah, I think that the Vikings are a better team. The Vikings are a better team up front. I think that they play I think where they are better is elite skill positions versus really, really good skill positions. And I don't think that the margin here, don't get mad at me, Steve. Don't get mad at me. I don't think that the margin is all that great. Between even when you're just talking Lions, Vikings, Green Bay, I think that Lions are the best team, but I think that the margin between the first place team and the third place team is very small because it is the little things. It isn't just 1, 2, 3 in the division. I think that the Lions, if you really looked at the Russell Wayne power rankings here, it's Lions, Vikings, Green Bay, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's in the NFC. It's literally the standings in the NFC North. And this is in the entire NFC. Russell Kane Wayne really hates the Packers. No, I'm being objective here, Steve. I'm not just throwing hate at the Packers. Justin Jefferson's a better wide receiver than any wide receiver you have on that team. Jordan Addison is as good as any wide receiver on your team. TJ Hawkinson is better than any tight end that you have on your team. The offensive line for the Vikings is better than the Green Bay Packers offensive line. I do believe that Jordan Love is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, but it's not a huge margin. I think Sam Darnold takes care of the ball better than Jordan Love. And I think that, and I still believe this, that Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs is a wash. It's a wash. Josh Jacobs is better in between the tackles, and Aaron Jones is a better receiver. So there's the offensive breakdowns for the two teams. And Minnesota's just a better defense. Minnesota's got an elite style of defense with Cashman. and Van Ginkel. Turner up front. Bernard. They got a good back end. They tackle well. So on defense, I think it's pretty close too. But I think that the Vikings are slightly better. I mean, the margin is small on both offense and defense. I don't know enough about special teams. Jay Smooth said, if both Viking and Lions win out, they will face off and be the first NFL team with 14 wins and not in first. And that's what I want. I like being part of history. Jay Smooth, Steve, you can relate to this. You know, I chase glory. You know, you want the best glory. I don't want the Vikings to trip up before we get to or the Lions. The Lions could trip up here too. The Lions could trip up. And the Vikings could trip up. But what fun is that? If either one of them do. They have a chance to have an epic matchup that, I mean, this is once in a blue moon, folks. I can't think of too many times that this has happened in history. Where 14 and 2 teams would face off for a division title at the end of the season that would also constitute in the 1 seed. The 2 best teams in the NFC. I want it. I want the smoke. You know, win or lose, you know, that's a glory matchup. That's your best warrior against my best warrior out in the middle of the battlefield. Woo! Jeremy B says Lions win out. They're 15-2. Minnesota cannot win out if the Lions do. I think what he's talking about, Jeremy, is winning the game all the way up in 2. I think it's the 14-2 versus 14-2 matchup. At least I hope that it is. I'm trying to help him out, Jeremy. Let's be nice here. So nobody watched that snooze fest last night with that high-powered offense, that high-powered Chicago Bears offense? So if the Green Bay does that if Green Bay wins, does that improve the Lions' chances for the number 1 seed? Yeah, that pretty much guarantees that the Lions would win the number 1 seed. Unless they both lose. And I don't think the Lions are going to lose. I think the Lions got some majors in there. Let's put on our tinfoil hats for a second. The NFL would rather have the Lions fight for all the marbles versus the Lions locking up the number 1 seed week 18 mean absolutely nothing. I don't know about that. I don't have the tinfoil hat. Because I believe that, like, anytime something that happens that is epic like that, I mean, it's an easy cop out to just say, "Oh, put on my tinfoil hat." You know, it's all fixed. That's bull crap. I do not subscribe to any of that. Now, can Vegas influence a call or two on the field? Sure. I mean, I believe they could get in there like that in the conspiracy, but a league-wide conspiracy that puts NFL in the WWE realm, that's nonsense. I love WWE, but that ain't it. You know, I've been following WWE for a long time, and the NFL ain't it. These guys are competing at the highest level. Too passionate. They had sell the team chance. You guys are getting it. You guys are really getting into the downfall of these poor Bears. Broski, I appreciate you jumping on here. Because I know that everybody chomping at the bit to go after you. Oh, poor Broski. Oh, let's get into looking at this game. I got the PFF stuff on here. Let me take a look at this. Jared Goff versus Brock Purdy. Pretty close quarterback matchup. I think that Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback. Good young quarterback. But now, San Francisco's used all of its cap-friendly mulligans. A team that's going to be on the way down. Because, you know, when you have a great team like the 49ers have had, where they developed some guys and they had a core of their team that made a run for 4 or 5 years. But that cap bubble is bursting. And they may have the next man up all figured out already. But they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy $50 million a year. Sooner rather than later. Because if they mess around, then Brock Purdy is going to end up costing $60 million a year. So whenever they can get it done, they're going to want to get it done. But as far as a matchup goes, Jared Goff, 4,095 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Brock Purdy, 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Definitely came back down to earth a little bit this year. Look at him in passing depth here. On deep passes, Jared Goff is the man. Look at Jared Goff. .82 on the deep ball. Pat under pressure. Let's look at the pressure. How are they under pressure? Ooh, everybody's all bad under pressure. Under pressure. Pressure clean. Pressure versus clean. In receiving, when we're looking at these guys, this guy. Ooh, they added the tight ends into this group. This grouping. The two best receivers going into this game were George Kittle and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and even David Montgomery. Juwan Jennings, when Dan Campbell's talking about number 15, I think that he meant number 13. Oh, no, number 15, Juwan Jennings. There it is. He has 856 yards and 6 touchdowns, 13.6 yards. Jamison Williams, look at that, 18.9 yards a catch. What I tell you? Jamison Williams, 890 yards receiving this year. He needs 110 yards in the last 2 games to get over 1,000. And he's going to do it on less than 60 catches. And that's what it is. I love it. Skill positions, I love these two teams. Both of these teams are really good skill positions. I mean, you would think that Deebo Samuel, look at these skill positions. The lowest is Tim Patrick and he's the best pass blocker out of all of them. That is good skill positions right there when you're looking at both teams. I love it. I love every minute of it. Look at those skill positions. Get in here. Say Packers are better on defense. They're holding teams to way less points than Vikings are. I think it's close, Jeremy. I think it's close. I think it's very close when we're talking about those teams. Are you guys bored? You guys are still talking about here. Both teams sucked last night. Ben Johnson is interviewing with the Bear. So I got to help you guys out on this. So this is not happening right now. This is all a smokescreen. Mark G. Ben Johnson cannot be interviewing with the Bears right now. That is a complete false narrative. If that's what they're trying to put out there right now, that will not happen. That's against the rules. They would be the Bears would lose draft picks. That would be that's what they call tampering. So anything that they're reporting before the season is done is all smoke. Of course, Ben Johnson's going to interview with the Bears. He's going to interview with the Jets. He's going to interview with the Saints. He's going to interview with every team that has a head coaching vacancy. Ben Johnson to the Bears is not news. In the middle of the season, they even said as much. And they're not allowed to talk to him. They're not allowed to go interview for head coaching jobs right now. Mid-season. You're not allowed to do that. Will Caleb Williams be the first ever Bear to throw for 4,000 yards? I thought he was over 4,000 already. Is he close? The Bears are the Bears. I don't know what to say. Until they get that good coach in there. And that coach has got to be on the same page. At least it's a coach that Ryan Poles is going to hire. So, in theory, you would have continuity between your head coach and your talent getter. So, and rushing, obviously, the Lions are going to have the advantage here. And and it is what it is. What are you going to do? You had Christian McCaffrey in there. You got all of your running backs are injured. That's where San Francisco has just been devastated with the injuries. And I like the idea of the Lions' younger backs getting more touches here. Craig Reynolds, Jamar Jefferson, Craig Reynolds. You like that?
You like that?
I like that. Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy. I was waiting for you to back me up on that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was even thinking that Jared Goff just got over 4,000, so Caleb wouldn't have been there. It was 3,000 that he just got over. Thank you for that. But no, the smoke show. I mean, sure. Could Ben Johnson go to the Chicago Bears? That's one of the top jobs that are out there. The Bears have never done it in the right order. I always go get this guy and break him and then bring a new coach in. And it's going to be the same thing. The Lions have tried it every way too. Get the new hottest coach, kept the old GM. Get the new hottest GM. Oh, he waits and gets another coach. You can't do it like that. You got to rip it apart at the studs, and then you have to hire a crew, and then really it isn't just about when you do it. I mean, obviously you have to hire the right guys, but it really doesn't matter if Caleb gets to 4,000 yards or not. I mean, the franchise is a dumpster fire, and it's not going to change. Your best player doesn't want to play for your team anymore. He gave up. It's not a good look for DJ Moore. So you even got to build within your skill players again. You ain't going to be able to build around DJ Moore, because now you got to build the roster back up with whoever the new guy wants. Mark says that I don't think the Vikings offense will be as good next year with McCarthy at quarterback. No, they won't. Definitely not. And the thing is, they should re-sign Sam Darnold. The jury is not out on Sam Darnold anymore. You know, sometimes quarterbacks, I mean, and don't act like Sam Darnold's like ancient, you know? Sam Darnold played for a bunch of dumpster fire teams. This is the first real opportunity that there's ever gotten, and he's crushing it. He makes good decisions. He's got a good deep ball. Why the hell wouldn't you want to keep Sam Darnold? Just because you drafted a quarterback in the first round, it doesn't mean that he has to play right away. I mean, McCarthy is really raw. Let the guy sit behind Sam Darnold. They should be extending Sam Darnold. I'm sure that Sam Darnold would actually offer you a nice little discount. Make it happen. And talks don't break down. Talks may break down till the end of the season. but they're going to talk to bring in Sam Darnold back. Right now, Sam Darnold is trying to win a Super Bowl. And Minnesota not paying Sam Darnold $50 million a year right now is probably a smart play by Minnesota. But Kwesi needs to start respecting some of these quarterbacks. I mean, I know that. I mean, you got a good coaching staff there, but you can't. I mean, a good system. You got the good skill players. Maybe Danny Dimes turns into the new guy like that. But I don't know. Sam Darnold, are you going to disrespect that quarterback just like you did Kirk Cousins? Just like you did Casey Keenum? Sometimes it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And I don't think that Minnesota's ever appreciated a quarterback that they've had. Like, eventually you draft a new guy, right? Oh, Favre's too old now. Well, we got to get him out of there. Bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. He gets injured and you throw him away like a piece of trash. Teddy B. You throw Teddy B away like a piece of trash. Bringing in Kirk Cousins.
You like that? You like that? You like that?
He leads you to winning seasons. Wow, he doesn't run. He got injured. Well, we don't want to resign him. I'll give you a deal. No, you get rid of Kirk Cousins, draft J.K. McCarthy, and then bring in Sam Darnold.
You like that? You like that?
Sam Darnold kills it for you. And then you're going to be like, I don't want to pay him any money. Like, contract broke down. It's like, appreciate your guys. Yeah, and you know what? You know what, Jeremy? You're right. They probably will. They'll disrespect Sam Darnold, because I see those memes out there with Sam Darnold. Lions on the best season of their franchise history. Vikings messing around with Sam Darnold. You know, one of the smartest things that the Lions did was re-sign Goff. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You may have a good quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. Maybe. You know what you have in Sam Darnold. Guy's what, 26, 27 years old or something like that? Come on, man. Danny Dimes. And the thing is, the Danny Dimes project would work. But I love how you tell me like you're telling me. Like you're telling me. Russell, those talks broke down last month, Russell. So they can't pick back up? After he's kicking ass? Do you think that Jennings will have a good game receiving wise against our Lions secondary this week? It's possible. You know, the Lions have a defense that does give up receiving yards in the middle of the field. Here comes Bridgewater, baby. I'd love to see Teddy B. Oh, all right. Let's see. I got through my comments right there. Everybody that's engaged in here. And I'm still talking about this, breaking it down position by position here. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, wow. I mean, you might be looking at 2,000 total scrimmage yards this year, depending on how big these. You're gonna need some big games for that, but it's crazy. It's going to be well over 1,500 yards in total, and that's split in the backfield. I mean, could you imagine that? You know, you add all that together. I mean, we're going to get what, 2,500 yards from the running game. Lions got it. They got it going on running. And then blocking. Obviously, Trent Williams isn't going to be playing on there. But in pass blocking, Christian Mahogany has the highest scored out of everybody right there. Jamarco Jones, Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, Zeitler. In total snaps, I'm looking for a San Francisco guy that has a lot of snaps. Well, that San Francisco guy, Trent Williams, has a lot of snaps. But their highest ranking pass blocking guy has 22 snaps on the year. The second has 65 snaps. Finally, Jalen Moore, their best pass blocking tackle, has 271 snaps. So, in run blocking, look at that. We got a bunch of tanks up front. The top three guys. And then Mahogany in there. Wow. We are a way more dominating team from the offensive line standpoint, especially with Trent Williams out. And on defense, let's see who's got the best defenders. They should have some good defenders in here when you're looking at this. Aiden Hutchinson, for sure. Fred Warner. Look at those linebackers right there. Kirby Joseph. We definitely have the safeties. Definitely. In the total defense. Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell's having a under the radar year for the Lions. It's like you don't hear a ton from him. You know that he's playing. But Jack Campbell just quietly having a real good year. Who else we got? Let's just look at these linebackers. They definitely have us in the linebacker position when it comes. They got two fantastic linebackers. I mean, even if Alex Anzalone is in there, they got an advantage in the linebacker. Quan Alexander's been pretty good. for the Lions in short spurt here. Run defense. I mean, it's pretty close in the run defense area from the linebacker position. I mean, Greenlaw and Warner are two of the best. But having Jack Campbell in there, and, you know, that's definitely where they have an advantage. We don't have a lot of depth there until we get Anzalone back. It's nice having Reeves Maben in there. But Quan Alexander's been good. Tackling, we got studs. All our guys tackle. Pass rushing linebackers. Oh, look at Ezekiel Turner on top right there. Coverage linebackers. We're not great in that area. That's where our linebackers need to continue to get better. But this is Jack Campbell's at a 70.7. This is his best year, 100%, as a Detroit Lion so far. Definitely getting better in that area. He just incrementally gets better. I think he's going to be an all-pro. If not this year, he just is going to progress until he gets there. So that's a look at the linebackers. Let's look at where we're at on the interior. Not in coverage, though. In total defense, it's like we don't really have we have the top two, and then they have a couple interior guys right here, not with as many snaps as our main guys right here. 500 snaps. They got Malik Collins. I mean, that's not all that great right here, but here's where the interior stuffers are. Levi Onwuzurike having himself a year. And tackling. Look at Broderick Martin. What? I always go left to right here. This is defense, run defense, tackling, and then the pass rush. They got some pass rushers right there. They're guys. Those guys aren't all a whole bunch of snaps, but that shows a rotation right there of guys that can get after it in the middle. So they may have their hands full there with Frank the Tank Zeitler trying to keep them guys out the backfield. And who cares about coverage for a defensive interior guy? All right, let's see what else we got here. Edge defenders, we'll throw them in there. They definitely have an advantage when they got Nick Bosa out there. Yeah, we don't. That definitely advantage. They definitely have a better defense from the front seven. But the back end, I definitely think that we have an advantage. So we'll look at that. But maybe not. They don't like us in total defense right there. Oh, that's why, because I didn't put the safeties in too. My bad. So the back end, who's got the best guys? We got the top two guys by a mile. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. Carlton Davis was in there. That's a damn shame that he broke his jaw. But they got some good cornerbacks over there. They got two good cornerbacks. We have better safeties. They have better cornerbacks. But we're looking for our cornerbacks to continue to get better throughout the year. So San Francisco is still dangerous on defense, guys. But I believe that the Lions are going to play with some motivation. So that's gonna, I know it seems like everybody's more interested in talking about, they want to lock up this 1 seed. I like this call right here. Would love to see Teddy B put the nail in the coffin for Minnesota.
You like that?
I think the Lions are planning on going out to San Francisco and putting the dump truck on. And I'm hoping Steve might be right, you know? I'm not going to root for Green Bay. I can't do it. I can't root for Green Bay. But if Green Bay does win, I'll find the happiness in a shot at locking up the 1 seed out in San Fran. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's my heart talking. My heart says I want the smoke. I want to see Minnesota win. I want to see Lions win. My heart says that. My head says that's stupid, Russ. Why would you say that? Why wouldn't you want to lock up? Why wouldn't you want to root for? That's my head talking. But my heart wants that smoke. I want the smoke. Because we're better than Minnesota. We can beat Minnesota. Leaving it there. Whew. Greenlaw out for San Fran, and Warner is questionable. Wow. That's bad. That's bad. But I ain't gonna apologize. We ain't gonna apologize for that. Them having more injuries. We have more injuries than anybody. Quit making excuses, San Fran. So they got a unique situation right here. Sideline report creates an opportunity for a Lions to add a veteran pass rusher. And how hard the Lions have been hit with injuries this season is insane. But a unique situation stands to give the Lions an opportunity to add Shaq Barrett from the injured reserve retired list on Thursday. He signed with the Dolphins last offseason, but then retired just before training camp. In November, he applied for reinstatement, which he apparently has not told the Dolphins beforehand. They elected to keep him on the reserve retired list rather than waive him to allow him to finish the season with another team. With that in mind, Barrett can only play again this season if he clears waivers by Friday at 4 p.m. That's today. And that's simple when it comes with Shaq Barrett. I mean, let's I mean, all he has to do is clear the waiver. And that one's a lot easier because here's the caveat to that is nobody that would claim Shaq Barrett would get to use him this year. The only way that he gets to play is if he clears waivers and then re-signs with another team. So he has to clear waivers in order to be able to play this year. So anybody claiming him would essentially be wasting the claim because he could just retire again. You know, he retired. He didn't want to play for Miami. That's the reason you retire. But if he's sitting there in shape, like they say that he is, he would sign with us. He's not going to sign with anybody else. Who else would he sign with? He's going to go sign with a contender. I think it would be a slam dunk if they could pull it off. And this one seems a lot more probable than, Calais, Campbell, or I always forget the Campbell's mid though. The one that plays in Miami that they could release, the Lions could get. He wouldn't clear waivers because he could play this year for another team. Somebody picking up Shaq Barrett from the waiver wire that would be ahead of the Lions wouldn't be able to use him this year. And why would you want a player like Shaq Barrett taking up a roster spot for next year, especially after you're trying to rebuild? You don't do that with an older player. So I think he's going to clear waivers. I don't think somebody's going to pick him up. But, I mean, anything's possible. I just don't hope, when you draft a guy in the first round, you want him to take the load, Mark. And let's really look at that usage that he had, when you look at that. He had 23 carries for 109 yards with an additional 4 catches. That's not awful. That's not awful. Because you look at the Packers and the way that they use their guys with the Seahawks. Let's see. Jacobs carrying the ball 26 times. They use the people usually use their lead horses. You're talking 25, 30 carries. And the Lions did give other carries away. They still got Craig Reynolds. So I don't think that they're going to use him too much. I think that they've used him brilliantly. They had him 10 to 15 for the whole season. And now, while all these other running backs are getting wore out, I mean, that's cool for Josh Jacobs having such a good year. But, he played for the Raiders. He ain't used to playoff football. That's extra football. How much do these workhorse backs, are you going to wear out? Well, Jahmyr Gibbs isn't wore out. They've limited the carries. That's been the Montgomery job all season, taking the bruise and carries. So I understand your concern, but I'm not too worried about that. I think it's a smart time to unleash your best playmaker. Why wouldn't you want to get more touches to Jahmyr Gibbs? Maurice says, I want the Packers to win for us to still beat the Vikings. I mean, I would like that. I would love going into the last game knowing that we have the 1 seed locked up. And if that's the case, then maybe Bridgewater plays the whole damn game. Wouldn't that be something? I understand that, but Gibbs, my point is already lost Monty, and we need Gibbs healthy for the playoffs. We need to use him wisely. I think they've been using him wisely. I mean, what would that be? What is that to you? You want to see him get 5 less carries? Would you like to see him at 15 carries? Would that be better? I mean, and I'm predicting that and this is what we get here. I'm predicting that the Lions will get out to a quick, sizable lead to keep Garino off the field and force the pass. Gibbs gets his, but we see Vaki and Reynolds splitting rushes, and they can do that. And I think that would be a good plan. You know, I like them using Gibbs out in the space. I love seeing Gibbs get some yards and then run out of bounds. You know? And we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do. But I like the idea of the Lions getting a player at the end of the season that you can only get by having a good team. You know, a team that somebody wants to come win a championship with. You don't get guys like Shaq Barrett to come out of, retirement. If he can play, he can play. I mean, it's not the first time somebody's retired to get off of a team and they waive him retirement star. I'm excited about that. I should Google that up and make sure that somebody didn't already claim him off of waivers, but I don't know why anybody would do that. Why would you claim a guy that you can't use for next year unless you wanted to build around him? I mean, he's only 32 years old. It's not like he's ancient. Yeah, this is the one. I want to share this tab because this is the real of it. Coming from ESPN. Now, I don't know if this is a sign that the Dolphins are kind of giving up on the season, but they have a very, very long shot way of making the playoffs that is like, that ends in a 2-man sack race. And if Barrett clears the waivers, then he can play this season. If he does not clear waivers and somebody picks him up, he's not allowed to play for that team. So Barrett's decision to unretire comes days before the deadline to do so in week 13. The Dolphins coach called the team's decision a numbers game. So he unretired right before the trade deadline, which means that if he clears waivers and he signs with another team, he can play this season. And if he clears waivers, that means he's allowed to sign with any team that he wants. Which means that Brad Holmes can get on the horn. And that to me, I would think that if he clears waivers, I think the Lions are going to sign him. I'll just put that out there. Why not? Leo says they need to use Reynolds for those short yard rushes. He seems to be more like Monty in that role. I don't know. I watched that. I love that style. That's the way I play Madden. You know, you get first and goal. I mean, you know what? I'm running right there. Oh, it might take me 3 shots. You know, it might take me 3 shots to get it in there, but I'm going to run right there. What are you going to do about it? I love that, though. But sorry, I started a little bit late today. But for everybody out there just joining, you are watching the Lion Villain Report. You can join me Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. You can also join Main Event Mike on Monday nights for the Main Event Football Show at 7 p.m. This episode of Lion Villain Report is brought to you by NFL Shop. You can hit that QR code, save up to 25% off of your order. Thank you, NFL Shop. Lion Villain Report is available on the Lion Villain Squad Facebook page. Acknowledge the villain.
You like that?
Yeah, acknowledge the villain and the 60,000 villains that are out there enjoying some of the Detroit Lions football games. And when I have my lady friends over, they get so excited when the Lions winning the game. And anybody let me know what a Packer is exactly? Oh, hell yeah. It's faith, family, then football. In that order. Use football, folks. Don't let football use you. Use football to create a memory. Thank you to the Huddle Sports Network. Mike the Bear fan. Bill the Packer fan. On Roku. That's right. We're the undrafted free agent. We are the Tom Kennedy of sports podcasting. You can't unalive Tom Kennedy or the Villain Squad. We're going to keep grinding. We're not the best podcast, but we're going to keep on working until we are. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. It's faith, family, then football. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen. We pray for no injuries. But I'm going to take off. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the Lion Villain Report. God bless you.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.